Godzillacusx here. Welcome to the channel where masterclass play is optional, but we pass along a little information to our fellow tankers where we can. Hey, I had a little discussion in our Discord clan chat, and it was a talk about the best credit earner and this kind of thing. And the discussion kind of got a little bit muddied by what's the best tank and the OP tank and all those kinds of things. But if you're looking for a credit earner, a credit grinder, it may be a kind of a different set of criteria that you want to look at. Good tank is always the preferable, but there's some other things that go along with just the pure credit grinding, which is how much can you earn per game, and get to the whatever goal it is you want to do to theoretically buy another tank or something like that. So anyway, I'm going to pass kind of show you some information that maybe not everybody is aware of, so you can make a better decision. Now, what I've done is pulled up Blitz stars. If you're not on it, you should be. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the tank compare kind of tab that's up there to take a look at some of the different statistics of some tier 8 heavies that are commonly thought of to be good credit grinders. And so what we're going to look for here is the tank you saw in the footage, the film of where I was playing a little bit earlier, which is a T-34. Now, mine's got the Star Wars camo, but it's a T-34. We're going to pull up, I believe we're going to pull up the low or the Luva, and then we're also going to pull up, I think, WZ 112-2, kind of a common tank that's out here recently at least. Now, some of the things you want to look at is just not, how great the tank is, but it's some of the stats that help you with your credits. Now, if you pull this up, it gives you all the stats, but what we want to look at is the credit coefficients of the tanks, which you see is T-34 is 170% versus 185 for low. Luva, WZ at 175. Now, there's another little stat there that's called the repair cost factor. That's how much it costs to repair the tank, which is for the T-34 is 4.5, Luva is 4.17, and 5.7 for the WZ. WZ by far is the worst for repair costs. So you're going to end up earning not about the same as the other two tanks, but it costs a lot more to repair it. Now, if you look at between the low and the T-34, the low has a lot better credit coefficient and it has a better repair cost factor. So you look at that, and it would be the better credit earner. In theory, depending on your play style and how well you can play the tank, that always is a factor. But there is something else that kind of comes into play between tanks, and that's kind of maybe a little bit of the play style that you have to take a look at, which is, we'll go up here and we're just going to take a look at the gun a little bit. Now, if you look there at penetration, it's 248 versus 234 and 215. So the T-34 has better AP pen than the other two tanks. And its alpha is better than the low and the same as the WZ. So what that means is, to me, in my play style, is I can use the AP rounds off the T-34 and not have to resort to Pramo, which, Pramo costs more money to use, so it's going to, you'll end up burning a whole lot of credits if you have to resort to Pramo. And the T-34, I find that I just typically don't have to do that. So that's a big cost factor, and it's something you should kind of decide, factor into your decision between what you want to do with it and your play style. It does make a difference when you take a look at things like that. And just a quick look here at the T-34. Essentially, we'll take a look at the ammo costs here. As you look there, the AP's 1,060, and the APCR, which is its Pramo ammunition, is at 4,000. So, any tank you have, is if you're firing a lot of Pramo, you're 4 times the cost, at least 3 times the cost. That's something to take into account when you're making a decision. If you're wanting to get a tank to do credit grinding, to earn yourself some credits. So anyway, guys, there's some information, and hope it helps.